University's Division of Information Technology's Mini Byte series. This series is highlighting today the Blackboard Grade Center. This is for all Stony Brook instructors who are utilizing Stony Brook system. Our address is blackboard.stonybrook.edu, and the purpose of this session is to help organize your Grade Center. My name is Diana Voss, and I am the Director of Academic Technology Services for the university. This mini byte will cover the following functions in the Grade Center: creating categories, column organization, assigning categories, use of calculated columns, how to hide and unhide columns. If you are interested in seeing this course as a student, you can self-enroll in the Grade Center Minibyte if you would like. To do so, log into blackboard.stonybrook.edu, click on the Courses tab, and under the course catalog, you will see DoIT Mini Bytes folder. In that folder, you can self-enroll in this course. So I've already logged into my Blackboard site, and I am in the course. The first thing we're going to talk about is how instructors can access the Grade Center. You need to make sure that your edit mode is on in your courses. And when you scroll down, you will go into Blackboard's Grade Center. Click on Full Grade Center. And this will contain your student information. Since student data is forever protected, please know that the data that you're looking at right now is fake. These are popular characters from fiction, and this is not real student data at all. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to manage your categories. So there are default categories in Blackboard. They are assignment, blog, discussion, journal, self-and-peer, survey, and test. You can create categories that you want. We recommend that these categories align with what is in your syllabus. So if you are grading and you are using a category for students that's called group project, create the category here, group project, and then you will see that in your categories. And I'm going to explain in a little while why that's important. So the recommendation again is any category in your syllabus for grading information, make sure that that category appears in your Grade Center. Okay. To see all the items in the Grade Center, the easiest way to do this is to use the Manage Column Organization tool. So I'm going to go to my Manage button at the top, and I'm going to click on Column Organization. You'll see here that there are sections. The first section is information that is frozen, meaning you can't do anything about it. You will always see your students' last names and first names in the system. And then these other items, username, student ID, last access, availability, it's up to you whether or not you want to see these in your Grade Center or not. We do recommend, since many of our students have a common name, that you keep either the student ID number or the username if you have, especially in a large class, to make sure that grades are assigned properly to students. If you're in a small class or you don't care about one of the columns such as last access or availability, by checking the boxes next to those, you can click Show Hide. Those will hide the selected columns, and now you can tell that the columns are hidden because they're italicized and they're grayed out. If at any point in time you decide that you would like for those columns to appear, check the boxes, Show Hide, and Show Selected Columns, and then they will no longer be hidden. You'll see each item in my Grade Center. It explains what the title is, whether or not it has a category, the due date, the date created, and points possible. This is how you can check the information in your Grade Center by columns. Sometimes instructors will see grades that do not make sense. What we always tell them is come here first to make sure that the points possible in this area is what it should be. We've seen situations where points possible is 25 and somebody has typed grade in error of 52. And that's why calculated columns and other things like that don't work. So know that this is where you can come to check to see how the categories are assigned in your classes and the columns. So in this case, I added when I add a column, I want to make sure that I always assign a category. That will help with items such as weighted grades and other things where you can pull the columns together, and I'm going to show you that now. Blackboard has a created calculated columns tool. The most common use of this tool is weighted columns. So if I click on weighted column, and I'm going to assign a name, a grade, right? So weighted grades. And I scroll down. I can choose which columns I want to see in my, which I want it to calculate. If I choose all of these, I have to hold down the Shift key and keep clicking, right? If I want to skip around, I can hold down the Control key and click. But then I have to click this to move everything over. And here I can put in my percentages. The problem that we've seen many instructors run into is if you have multiple assignments, assignment 1, assignment 2, assignment 3, this can become quite tedious assigning points to each one. So what we recommend instead is use the categories to assign and then make sure that your assignments are lined up with the right category. So in this case, I'm going to use assignment, survey, attendance, test, group project, and discussion. And when I click this, I can now have each category. So test is 20%, discussions are 5%, assignments are 10%, the survey is 10%, my attendance is 10%, and the group project is 50%. So we have 20. So it looks like this. If you wanted to drop a grade, you can say drop the lowest, the one of the highest grades, or drop the lowest grade. This is what this section does. You can also say in the category that you want to use the lowest value category or the highest value. These options are up to you. If you don't understand what an option does, when you scroll up to the top of Blackboard, and there's always a more help at the top of like the weighted columns, and this is where you can have a text explanation of what is happening, how things are working. There are no videos or images here, but it does provide you with details about how to use the sections in the Grade Center. So I'm going to hit submit, and you'll notice that I does not add up to 100%. So in order for weighting to work, you have to have 100% for it to work properly. So we do get calls where faculty are asking, can the weighted grade go over 100%? The answer is no, it cannot on the weighted column. There are other ways to do that through extra credit, but for the weighted column, that's not an option. So it is important that when you're putting in your grades, that you make sure that the totals add up to 100%. And that's how you would set up the weighted total column. Another popular tool is to create a column, an average column. So instructors might want to have, you might give an average of assignments or attendance. A popular one is to do an average of the discussion board assignments. So you could do that. And you can say select your columns and tools. And again, choose the category. Right? So if you want to do an average of all the discussions in this case, you could do this. You could drop. I know some faculty let students drop the lowest discussion grade. So you can use this to drop a grade. And it works the same way as the other columns. Another popular one is, how do I take all of my assignments or attendance and add it up so that there's a total attendance score? So the way to do that is I can use the total column. I can go in for semester, total score, and as if I'm taking attendance regularly and I'm assigning the attendance column properly to the item, when I hit submit, you'll see here that I now have attendance for my class, and it's adding up attendance, or every one that's got out, so attendance week 1, attendance week 2, it's adding them up and it's creating this total column here. So that is how you can use Blackboard to manage your information in your Grade Center, column organization. Make sure that you assign categories. If you don't want students to see a column, or you don't want to see it yourself, you can always hide it by checking the box and saying show hide, right? So now it's hidden. If I decide to unhide it, then you can check it again and unhide it. And the most important thing is to make sure that your Grade Center is clean and clear and easy to read. This is the only way that your students can see, if you're teaching online class, how they're doing in the course. So it's important to delete things that you no longer need. So I'm actually going to delete the items that I created so that I don't confuse the students and myself later. So check the boxes and click delete. When you do that, it asks you if you're sure you want to delete. Remember, Blackboard does not have an undo, so once you delete it, it's permanent. It's reminding me that this is permanent, and I can delete those columns. Should you have any questions, our team is here to help. And the slide deck is available on our site. So remember that the menu is your best friend. We focused on categories, column organization. Categories, again, are used to communicate the grading schema from your syllabus to use for weighted grades and other great common calculated columns. Column organization is where you can freeze, hide columns, edit categories, and change grading periods if you're using that tool. The 4 columns are average, minimum, maximum, total, and weighted columns. The students see the grades like this when they log in. So see here, they can see their tests, their scores, and this is always what the student sees, and this is the best way for you to communicate with your students. We encourage you to use this to its fullest potential. This helps with students sending emails. Did you get that? Is this ready? What was my grade? Using the Grade Center can be a very powerful tool. Blackboard does provide a video of details about this. If you'd like to watch this, you can look at my slide deck later to watch the video. And our unit does provide Blackboard Center grade health checks. So you can submit a request online for a health check. It's go.stonybrook.edu/bb health check. When you submit a request, it will open up a Google form. You can provide your name, your email address, which semester this is for. So obviously, if this is for the spring, you would click spring, what you need, and what your questions are. Someone from the team will get back to you as long as you are a Stony Brook University professor. If you do not receive a response within 2 business days, our phone number is 631-632-2358. You can also go to stonybrook.edu/services/Blackboard for more information. Thank you.